Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Coach Curt Cignetti Show. We talk IUP football, Crimson Hawks. Jack Benedict with you here, and we're going to talk about a game that, well, was a tough one for IUP at Miller Stadium last week. And maybe you were there or listened or watched the game. Came up short against Edinboro 36-30. Coach, there are a lot of things we can talk about in this game, and you take a look at a game where you have fumbles, interceptions, a blocked punt that goes for a touchdown, and no matter who you play, it's going to be tough to win. But your assessment after viewing the video of this Edinboro game?
Well, it was a pretty crazy game when you think about all the different things that happened. From a fan standpoint, if you were impartial, you'd say it was a pretty entertaining game. Look, I thought our guys played hard. I don't think effort was an issue. It's hard to win a football game when you turn the ball over 5 times, get a punt blocked, and then somebody fakes a punt on you. And so that's almost like having 7 turnovers. And we still had ourselves in position. I give our guys a lot of credit. You know, they kept fighting. They never gave up. We put ourselves in position to come back and win the game. I thought we would definitely win the game. And it just wasn't meant to be. And, you know, there were some close calls, too, officiating calls that, you know, we thought were big game changers that just didn't go our way. So,
Yeah, there were some instances where, and of course, you've reviewed the tape over and over, but from the standpoint of questionable calls on fumbles. It's hard to tell sometime whether or not when the whistle has blown. I mean, on one occasion, Pecora is going for a touchdown. Things can change the game dramatically.
Yeah, we had just scored to make it 36-30, and very first play, their next possession looked like a fumble, and we scooped and would have scored a touchdown, gone up 37-36. Crowd was going crazy. The team was really on the bench. Was a lot of electricity, you know, leading up to that point. And I thought, wow, here we go. And they blew it dead. And it looked like there was another fumble about 2-3 plays later, and that, we didn't get that call. And and then Terrell Barnes had that great punt return and got stripped. And a lot of people were standing on the sideline there and said the ball went out of bounds and came back in and hit the pylon. But the official from kind of across the field came in and overruled the guy that was supposed to make the call. So.
Yeah, this turned into be a really big play of the game. No question, happens before halftime, and you had an opportunity to go ahead. Maybe explain the rule too, because a lot of people may not know. And what a great return by Terrell.
Oh, it was a tremendous return. He made about 5 or 6 guys miss, and he broke a tackle on about the 6, and got himself in an awkward body position. And there was one guy left that then tried to strip the ball. He was trying then to regain his possession of the ball and cradle with 2 hands. But the guy stripped the ball. And the rule is if the ball's fumbled into the end zone, it's a touchback, and Edinboro would receive the ball. And the pylon is part of the end zone. So the ruling was that the ball hit the pylon. And but there were people right there on the sideline that said it hit out of bounds and bounced back in and hit the pylon. But hey.
How do you know?
We don't have instant replays, so at this level.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. We don't. Now, some people may think or may forget that happens near the half. So you go into halftime, maybe your approach to the second half is a little different. Edinboro comes out in the first series, second half, and they score.
Yeah.
That's a big change, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that play gave a lot of momentum, and it was a back-and-forth game the whole first half. And we did a nice job of responding to some adversity and taking the lead. And then, they had a 2-point lead at halftime. And I got after our guys pretty good at halftime. I thought they came out in the second half. I could feel the energy, but Edinboro went right down the field and scored. And then we fumbled, we took kind of a sack and fumbled the ball on our first offensive possession. So before you know it, you're down 16 points. And, from there it was a little bit of an uphill climb, but we did battle back and got it to within 1 score and had the ball at the end to win the game. And the way we were moving the ball, I thought there was no doubt we'll get in the end zone, but we sort of had miscommunication on a pass route between the receiver and the quarterback and led to an interception. If we'd executed the play correctly, it'd been a 25, 30-yard gain. It's a play we'd hit 3 or 4 times the previous series.
This is something you've been saying for a while. And of course, when you're in a losing streak, things are magnified. But from the standpoint of you've been saying, we need to execute. And when it's in critical situations, such as with 5 minutes to go, we're thinking like, well, we can go down there and make it 37-36. But didn't happen. That quarterback and wide receiver situation, it takes some timing, it takes some thought, and it didn't happen that particular time.
Well, we just, to dig our, look, we've lost 2 games in a row, and that's the most games we've lost around here since I first got hired, our first 3 games a year. I mean, we've won a lot of games between then. I mean, we had a 15-game winning streak, in-season winning streak that got snapped against Slippery Rock. So expectations for this team were extremely high, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to meet the expectations, and we're extremely disappointed. But we're 5-2, and we have the ability to run the table and finish 9-2. We just have to improve in all areas, improve in our preparation, our execution, and get better. I mean, that's your choice. You get better or you get worse. So our guys were really hurt in the locker room after the game, and we've got to bring them back. But I'm confident we got a lot of great guys on this team that will bounce back. We got a tremendous challenge this week up at Mercyhurst. They're playing really good football. They beat Gannon 51-21. It's a huge rivalry. They do a great job on offense. They run the ball. They got great play-action pass. They got 265-pound fullback, really good running back. Quarterback throws a deep ball really well. Got a couple of receivers that can go. Line functions really well. We're going to have to play good defense, stop the run, and not give up the big play. And then offensively, we got to get back to, getting some first downs and keeping the ball a little bit, somehow, some way. We may have to tweak some things to get that done. And then protect the football, which we've been great at here the previous 2 years. I mean, we were number 1, number 2 in the country in turnover ratio here. But we've had 2 games now where we turned the ball over 5 times. So it's very uncharacteristic for us. So, back to the fundamentals.
When you talk about tweaking, I don't know how you make how do you make any personnel changes 6 games into the season? You have a lot of great leaders on this team, a lot of veterans on this team. Is it just, try to step it up, practice hard, play hard? And you said they did play hard.
Yeah, we played hard, and it's been a little bit of a revolving door at a lot of positions because of injuries, especially on the offensive line, which continuity is so important for them to become cohesive. It's just been kind of new faces a lot. And, Jay Watkins, our field corner, didn't play in this game, and, there were others. There might be a little personnel change here or there. I mean, you can't do nothing drastic at this point in the season. But we do need to find a spark and kind of get going and kind of get ourselves out of this little situation we're in right now. Nobody's feeling real good about it. I guarantee you that. And there's nobody who feels worse than me. I got to live with it 24 hours a day right now. I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning and getting in the office. So, but things will break our way. Got to keep the faith that things will break our way. We've had 2 tough weeks. I never in a million years would have thought we'd have lost this game last Saturday going into it. I thought we had a great week of preparation. Thought our guys were really focused, ready to go, bounce back. And but you know what? That's athletics. That's why you play the game. That's why there's a scoreboard. It's unpredictable, and a lot of strange things happen. So this is a little bit of adversity that we didn't anticipate. Now we have to overcome it.
And I know you've given credit to opposition, and Edinburgh is, they're always up for IUP. Scott Browning took over for Coach Tepper up there. He's been successful. He's had 20 wins over his career up there. And you're seeing that everybody's pulling out all the stops against IUP.
There's no doubt. I think there's a big red bullseye on us because of our success, and there's been a lot of off-season preparation done for us. And we do the same thing. We prepare, but people are taking some chances and they're doing some things that are a little bit unorthodox. And we've caught some people's best game. There's no doubt about it. But still, we can play better and we can do better, and we got to control the things that we can control. And we will. We'll make the effort to do that, and we'll get better.
The key to a win at Mercyhurst, you want to play better on the road, of course, but boy, they really run the ball, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And, the things that determine the outcome of a game never change. Dominating the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, being able to run it on offense and stop it on defense. Protect the ball on offense, take it away on defense. Make some explosive plays on offense. Don't give up big plays on defense, which we're giving up too many big plays right now on defense. And we're not getting enough big ones on offense. And then special teams has to be a winning edge for you. So those things don't ever change. Mercyhurst is a little bit like we have been, in that they're going to run the ball, and then they got great play action pass off of the run. So their offense really does kind of drive their team. They go as their offense goes. And this is going to be a big challenge for our defense, but it sure would help our defense if our offense could control the ball, get some first downs, and keep their offense off the field, and we have to do a better job of that.
You know, one of the guys I thought really played well for you was your place kicker. Brett, I don't think I've ever seen him kick better. He was booming it out of sight.
Yeah.
He got 3 field goals for you, over 40 yards each time. And so, again, you're talking about the special teams end of it. That's a big deal.
There's no doubt. The last 3 weeks, Brett Allman has really been kicking the ball better than I've ever seen him kick it. And he was 13 of 14 as a freshman on field goals. So I have a tremendous amount of confidence in him, and he has just been great. Our kickoff return did a nice job. I mean, they tried some unorthodox kicks. We had some big returns. And, you know, some of the other areas, the punt block was a big play. You know, that was a big play. And we had one guy a little bit too aggressive on protection. And, you know, we were up 6-0. It's only one score, but we were kind of controlling the tempo of the game. They only ran 10 plays in the first quarter. And then, you know, they faked the punt and got us, went down, scored. We went 3 and out, and they blocked the punt. Now, all of a sudden, that whole game's changed. Now, to our guys' credit, we came back, we blocked the punt and had a nice drive on offense right after that. And we went up. Then they jumped back up, and then Barnes' fumble is kind of a big momentum changer there before the half.
Yeah.
So it was a back-and-forth game in terms of entertainment. Like I said, for a non-partial fan, probably a fun game to watch. From my standpoint, one very entertaining.
Yeah. How about when you viewed the video? I didn't want to leave out Terrell Holloway either. I thought, and we thought, I don't want to say but we thought that he played a nice game for you. Anybody else in there that you want to mention?
Yeah, he's been very consistent all year long, and you know, we didn't have anybody really play a perfect game on offense or defense. You know, we had kind of mistakes across the board. We had some blown coverages, and but Terrell, you know, has been solid for us. Carl Fleming played well, as did Shane Meisner.
Shane Meisner.
You know, Terrell Barnes continues to make big plays for us, and he's really stepped up his game.
Well, it's regroup time, and you can do that. I mean, you have the leadership there. You know, I recall the game, and you'll recall it, where we played at Mercyhurst a couple of years ago, and you sent me a text. I've never had a text from a coach after a game, but that was exciting. It was thrilling, and maybe we can get some recreation there of that.
Well, you know, I watched that game last night, and we were down 28-18 with 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the game, down 10 points. We had the ball 3rd and 16 on our own 35-yard line. And we came back and won that football game. And that was a great win that gave these guys a lot of belief. I thought that win really got the momentum going for how we finished our first year and the success we had last year. You know what I mean?
Carried over.
Carried over. And we're kind of in that situation a little bit right now as a football team. And, you know, if it is to be, it's up to me. I mean, every guy on this team has to step up. You're never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad as you think you are. Reality is somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Okay? We still can be a real good football team. You know, we got to make sure we don't lose any confidence here, you know, which confidence is probably a little bit of an issue right now after 2 games like that. Go back, keep our eye on the, you know, target, stay focused, and put together a plan for success, pay the price to be successful. So this team can do it. We got the right stuff to do it. We just got to go out and get it done.
Okay. Well, I'm going to expect another text from you this week.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Good luck. All right. That's Coach Curt Cignetti show for this week. It is a noon kickoff, by the way, if you're headed up to Erie for IUP and Mercyhurst in the game on Saturday. So keep that in mind, a noon kickoff. And that's it for this week. We'll talk more Crimson Hawks football next week when we come back at you. Have a nice evening.